Hi, it's Martha DeSanti, Doctor of Chiropractic, Yoga and Pilates Instructor Extraordinaire. Today we're going to be working on some stretches for the hips. A lot of times we can get very tight in our hips with a lot of the sitting that we do, and a lot of times we move kind of in the sagittal plane. So that's the plane that your legs move in when you're running or walking or riding a bike. But very rarely do we kind of deviate from that unless you're someone who does a lot of ice skating or different movements in that plane where you'd be varying things a little bit. So what we're going to work on today is something called supine pigeon or figure 4. And this is going to be a stretch for the glute medius and also some of the piriformis fibers. So what we're going to be doing is finding a space on our back. And there's a couple ways. There's two ways I'm going to introduce today on how to do this. One way is using the support of a wall for your foot, and the other way would be to have the foot in the air and holding the leg. My personal favorite is the lazy man's version with the foot on the wall, so feel free to adopt whatever choice works best for you. I'll show you both of those now. So if you're choosing to use the wall variation, you would begin by taking whichever leg you're starting with and placing that foot against the wall. Then you take the opposite leg, in this case my left leg, and cross that left ankle over the right knee. At this point you want your tailbone still rested down on the ground, equal distance between rib and hip on both sides of the body, and make sure that this right leg in particular is parallel. It's really easy for this leg to kind of get pulled and turned into that medial rotation. Don't let it happen to you. Keep that leg parallel and in a nice line with the hip, the knee, and the foot. So from here, if you've got that foot against the wall and you're starting to feel a comfortable amount of stretch on the outside and back of this left leg and into the deep left glute area, that's good. You want to think about encouraging this left knee outward away from your body, so you can gently put a hand on and press there. If you feel any stress in this knee, don't do that and back off from the stretch. So let's talk about how to do that. If you've got the right foot on the wall and you feel like it's too much stretch, take the feet down from the wall, wiggle your hips away from the wall, get the foot back up again, and then reset. So it's going to kind of change the angle so it's a less intense stretch. If it doesn't feel like enough stretch, same kind of thing. Wiggle your way, scooching your tail toward the wall, my imaginary wall back there, and then same thing, get the foot up, cross the ankle over, and find that stretch. If you're choosing to not work with a wall, you can take hands onto this thigh. Left hand comes between legs, right leg comes around the outside and grasp onto the back of that right thigh. If you're really tight in the neck and chest, and you find that this pulls you into a kind of crunched up, uncomfortable position here, you've got two choices. You can either work with foot on the wall, or you can start with a pillow behind your head so you can still relax and open the chest in that position with the head raised up. If you're working without the foot against the wall and you'd like to, you can make some ankle circles here, taking the foot and ankle 10 times in one direction and then reversing and going 10 times in the opposite direction. Whichever version you're working with, whether it's the foot on the wall or with the legs in the air, you can either take the foot and uncross it and then take that foot off the wall, or uncross it and bring them both back down to the ground. Let yourself take a moment to take a breath in and out, and again notice any difference in sensation from side to side. Now we're going to even up on the other side. If you're choosing to place the left foot on the wall, go ahead and do that. And another thing you can use is if you're laying on your back on the ground, and let's say the seat of your couch is about that right height to get your foot rested on, you can do that. The alternative is to just be in the air and then cross ankle over and lift legs up. So whatever works for you, let yourself find that position. Right knee's moving away from the body, left knee's moving in toward the body. Equal distance between rib and hip, tailbone's heavy on the ground, and you're feeling some stretch into that outside of the right leg and in the right deep glute. Any stress in the right knee means that it's time to back out of the stretch and it's too much for where your hip's ready to open up to. Again, if you'd like to circle that left ankle, you can, taking it 10 times in one direction and then taking it 10 times the other direction. Shoulders are relaxed back, head's resting on the ground. And if you notice when you're doing this stretch, or any stretch for that matter, if one side feels tighter to you than the other, you can always start on that side, the tighter side, and then move to the other side and then finish on the tighter side. So double up on that tighter side. Begin with it, do the other side, and then end with that tighter side. just so you're eventually bringing about a little bit more balance in your body. And then from there you can lower the feet back down to the ground. Take a breath in and out here, just kind of checking in with your body, seeing how everything feels. Hopefully that has your hips feeling a little bit more loose and like you're ready to go out and do some dancing. Thanks for watching. As always, leave comments or questions below.